I'd like to make an extra $5,000 a month. Or, I'd like to bring in a new relationship. I'm thinking about these options. Which options would they be? Even though I might be sitting there going, yeah, I really think this is everything I've wanted. This is what I want. I am not saying yes straight away. And it's a really great idea to say, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'd like to sit with that for 24 hours. I am not saying yes straight away. And when they sit with it, they're like, yeah, Spirit was really telling me no, but my brain, my ego, quick, this is going to work. Welcome to Tea with the Priestess and this week's cup. Now, this week's cup has a little story. So this week's cup is a beautiful gift from a dear friend of mine. Now, we were out at lunch in the hinterlands and I had such a beautiful time. I was like, we need to go to this secondhand shop here where I can find the most beautiful teacup that will signify the amazing lunch and time we have spent together. We went in and I found this cup, which is not this cup, but I found this cup. It was sitting by itself and I saw it and I said, I love that cup. Like, that is one of the most favorite cups I've ever seen. And she was like, I have that exact cup at home. And I was like, what? And she said, and even better, I have the saucer plus the little cake plate that goes with it. I was like, oh, that's so special. It doesn't have that here, but we could have the same cups. And she was like, I don't use mine. Let me gift it to you. And I was like, oh, I can borrow it. But, she's like, let me give it to you. I'd really love to give it to you. And I was like, but I love it so much. She said, let's just go home and let me show you what I've got. And she's like, oh, they came from my grandmother. And I was like, oh, family. She's like, they are just sitting here. I would prefer that they went to someone that would love them. And so I have the whole set. I'm in love with it. It's got the most beautiful floral and gold trim down the bottom, which is absolutely perfect. And this week in my cup, so thank you to my beautiful friend who is bound to watch this at some stage. I love it. It is perfect, just like our friendship. And this week in my cup, we are drinking High Flow, the high vibrational tea from a beautiful priestess, a local priestess that creates these amazing teas. So, what are you drinking in your cup this week? This week we're diving into how come our spirit team is like the missing link, the key to our success. Now, I want to say the key to our fast track to success, because really, we are able to succeed regardless. It's a bit like that drive to the country where you're out in the middle of nowhere, no reception on your phone, you can tell I've done this, right? And you're driving aimlessly around without the map because, hey, who needs a map nowadays? It's all on our phone, except for when our phone doesn't work, the GPS doesn't work. And you're driving aimlessly around and you're like, well, surely I've got to come across it soon. Now, you have two choices. Your first choice is to keep driving until you find it. And you may find it. You really might. It might take you a really long time, but you may stumble across it. Or you can go into that local shop that you've passed 3 times now and say, hey, so I don't have a map, my phone's not working, and I'm looking to get to this place. And they might say, oh yeah, you've probably missed the turn off. It's right here. You just turn left, then turn right, then turn left, go 5 kilometers down the road and you'll be there. Wow, 5 minutes later, you're at your destination. Or you could drive around for 5 hours and stumble across it. It's a bit like that with your spirit team. And the reason I say that is I have experienced that same thing. With my spirit team, it's like going into the shop and saying, hey, I need some help. Because the thing about your spirit team is you need to ask for help. You need to actually give them some guidance. They're all sitting over there going, is she going to ask? Is she going to ask? Is she going to let us help her? because they can't just come and interfere. That's not their role. Yet we ask for that help, we ask for that guidance, and it comes in. Now, you probably want to be a little bit clear with what sort of guidance you want. Don't just leave it open. You may have a very large spirit team like I do. And if that's the case, then lots of different opinions and different pathways can appear, as I have learnt over time. And it doesn't mean that any of them are wrong. They're all great pathways. But it's not as if your spirit team are sitting down with a cup of tea, having a conversation about what they think is best. They show you a beautiful path forward. Yet, it's nice to get a little bit more clarity. It's nice to get a little bit more of those beautiful baby steps. You know, which door do I open first? What's the next step? Not just like, show me the way to my abundance. It's like, well, I'd like to make an extra $5,000 a month. Or, I'd like to bring in a new relationship. And get really clear on what that looks like. I'm thinking about these options. Which options would they be? Now, the great thing about an active spirit team and actually having them on board is that you will start to learn very quickly what is aligned for you and what is not. The moment you involve your beautiful spirit team, now that can be angels, it can be ancestors, it can be your beautiful soul tribe, it can be your spirit animals, it can be your dragons. And this is the beauty of a spirit team. Depending on what you want to bring in or what you're needing, what kind of guidance you need, depends on who you're asking. Now, if you know who your spirit team is and you go, right, I'm going to bring this one in for this particular because I know there'll be a straight shooter with me. Like, I need a little bit of a kick up the butt and I need a little bit of help. Then I call on that one. You call on that one, right? If you want strength, if you want like clear ancient wisdom, you'd call on your dragon. So there's so many different ones that you can communicate with. And at the beginning, if you're still just learning who your spirit team is, then of course, you're calling in for guidance, your highest and best guidance for your highest and best path. I always like to put in there that you're asking for divine guidance that is going to support you to be on your highest and best timeline. Because you're not asking for guidance in this situation, which maybe you're not even meant to be in. So sometimes we make that mistake of not getting clear in our questions. And for me personally, I think that the best thing you can do is ask the right questions, because they can show you the right answers. And so those signs, those symbols, those numbers, the butterflies, like all the things are great. And then once you start hearing and getting clear signs in your energy, it's even better. So like, for example, when you're asking for your yes and no, yes, you can use a beautiful pendulum. And we've talked about this in previous episodes, right? You can use your beautiful pendulum. But you can also have full body responses, which are really great with spirit teams. The touch on the shoulder, the pressure on the head, the rub on the back, whatever it is for you, this feeling in your stomach. You know, they're whole body intuitive responses, but then you can ask your spirit team to guide you. And you feel into that. You feel into that questioning. You feel into what it is you're asking, and you wait for that response. Now, do you put your whole life on hold for a response? No, you don't. But you generally get responses very quickly. Your spirit team is really good at being able to respond, I would say, relatively quickly. Like, you know, you set your intention, you go to sleep, you wake up with an answer sort of thing. The next day you'd expect to be getting signs and symbols. So it's not as if you have to make a decision right that moment that's life-changing. No matter what you are walking into, if it's a new job application, if it's a new friendship, if it's a relationship, if it's an opportunity for business, those are the sorts of things you want to check in with and give yourself some space. And it's a really great idea to say, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'd like to sit with that for 24 hours. I always do that before I make any huge business decisions. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really excited to sit with this for 24 hours and I will get back to you. Even though I might be sitting there going, yeah, I really think this is everything I've wanted. This is what I want. I am not saying yes straight away because I need to check in. And Spirit's usually sitting there going, excuse me, the answer is yes. That's what we're doing, which is lovely. But then I really want to sit with my body response. If it's big, I want to make sure. And so it's like that journey. I can be riding around looking for my destination for 5 hours. And if we journey that into our life, 5 years, or within a week, I could really get this mapped out. Does that mean that it's always your destination? No. So Spirit is really good at giving you the opportunities that you need to succeed and the lessons that come along with it. And often I watch my beautiful clients go through this, and I go through it all the time too. I'll be like, well, why did we do that? Because that clearly wasn't the path that we would want to take. Like, that didn't end well. Like, why did you guide me to do that? I didn't think we should do it. You insisted we do it. We did it. It didn't pan out. And then a week or 2 or 3 or a month later, same thing with my clients, it's like, oh, that's why we needed to do that. I don't know if you're a Instagram or TikTok person, but I often see this amazing meme. Oh my goodness, I wish I could link it, but I don't know how even to do that. And it's like, it's that soul contract. And it's like, why would I sign this? Why would I sign up to this? Why would I? Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. It's like, okay, I need to go through all the life lessons to understand why I needed them. And in the moment, it's maybe the heartbreak, maybe it's the devastation, the anger, the loss. Maybe it's this, I've just lost the investment that I've just put in there. You know, it's the, okay, I just signed up for all these stocks and I do not condone at all doing that sort of work with Spirit Team because they're good with numbers, their timing sucks. They are not good with timing. Spirit realm and timing, not great. So try not to anchor timing. Try not to say in 3 months' time, I want this. Really try to get clear with, okay, this is my destination. This is where I want to go, or this is the first couple of steps. Show me how to move into that direction. Or even better, when you're starting off, these are my options. Which one? Show me which one. And it's quite interesting when you start doing that initially, when you start saying to Spirit, okay, I have 2 choices. This is where I need to place my attention, but I'm not sure which one to pick. Can you please show me the best path forward? And you've given them very clear opportunities. Now, I have seen where both opportunities been removed and a new opportunity's been presented that's been better. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, thanks for sorting that. But it's interesting how often, and this happens more often than I can even tell you, like it's amazing, where I say, okay, help me between these 2 offerings. This is this one and this one. Which one should I work on? And one of them no longer is an offering anymore. Spirit will remove it completely. I'll go to do it, or I'll go to investigate and find out more information. It's no longer available. And I find out that it would have been an absolute bad step in, that direction. I see it all the time with my clients. I'm applying for this job, Christy, and I want to do a good luck ritual. So we bring in the Spirit Team, we do a reading, we talk about it, we go, okay, this is exactly where we want to head, this is what we want to do, right? And they're like, yeah, but over here, there's something else shiny and new that I want to look at. And I'm like, okay, if you are being guided to do that, then absolutely jump on board with that, right? Always free will. I am not here to tell you how to do things. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I am here to offer some guidance, offer some suggestions, and then let you and your team roll with it. I love strategy. I love building business. I love building financial freedom for people. However, at the end of the day, that's your realm of work. That's your realm of what you would like to do with your team, and you succeeding is really important, obviously, right? And so you need to make those decisions for you. And what I love about that, what I really love about that is that they'll be like, shiny new object. I want to really focus on this. This is where I'm going to place my attention. Oh, I found the thing. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, no, I don't think this is the thing, but okay, if that's what you think. But I thought we were kind of thinking about this. No, 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 no. I've found it. I'm like, great. Okay. I'm just going to sit over here for a little bit and I'll let you guys work that out. And then they'll come back in 3 weeks and go, it wasn't the thing. It so wasn't the thing. And when they sit with it, they're like, yeah, spirit was really telling me no, but my brain, my ego, my, oh, quick, this is going to work feeling of, too good to be true feeling overextends and takes over. And so I say, come back to self, sit with spirit, gusso, be in the moment, receive the knowledge and wisdom, receive the guidance, allow it to come through, and then follow that. And when the shiny new objects along the sidelines come through, when the shiny new objects are there and they're trying to take your attention, but you're being divinely guided on this path, put them down, write them down in a book, do something with them, right? That is, okay, great. That is there for a backup plan. That might be something I have to sit with. Check in with spirit. Oh, hang on a second. There's a shiny new object. There's something else. Is this where I'm meant to be going? Ask the question, yes or no. Now, this is what the guidance was, but now there's a shiny new object. Which one do I go with, right? You'll find spirit will very quickly remove that. Sometimes those obstacles are put in our path to see how much we are actually determined to keep going forward, how much we're really willing to step into. It's another test, it's another lesson of actually sticking the course, actually up leveling. And your spirit team is here for your success. You have included these people on your journey. You've said, okay, yes, 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 no way. Yes, yes, yes. Come down, support me. Help me remember what I decided to do this lifetime. Help me remember where I really want my energy to be placed and what my service role is here and what I'm here to learn about. Help me. And then we get here and we forget to ask for help. We need to ask for help. They are here to guide us. So get really clear with your yeses and nos. I have the Pendulum Power mini course there. It's like a 2-hour in the afternoon sort of learning, which helps. I talk a little bit about your yes and no. That's a great first place to start with if you've got a necklace, you've got a pendulum, right? Easy place to start. And most pendulums you can purchase from any sort of shop for like $15. Get really good at clearing your channel and starting to receive your yes and no's, because that's going to give you an untapped resource to really fast track your success. Stepping into that energy, stepping into the ability to connect into your team daily and really receiving guidance and wisdom from your team is amazing. You will be able to find the location in 5 minutes instead of 5 hours. Translate that into our lifetime is massive. They know your highest and best timeline. We can't see it. They know. Do you know how many times I have connected in and not done the pre-work and gone, well, what happened there? What happened there? What did I do wrong there? Why didn't that pan out, right? And I get the little giggles and I get the little laughs and I'm like, oh, because I didn't ask, did I? I just kind of plowed ahead. And sometimes I do that. I just plow ahead and I forget to ask. So there's no judgment. We all do it. We're living this 3D life. We forget. But this is why it's really important to anchor yourself into a daily practice, because it reminds us that, hey, we have a whole group of people here to help us. You're never alone, ever. And once you get good at knowing your yeses and nos, once you get really good at receiving the guidance and being able to actually receive wisdom, even sentences is amazing because you're like, oh, okay. But just the feeling, being able to go, that's a no. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder why that's a no. And then you see it in a couple of months and it's imploded and you're like, I'm glad I wasn't involved in that, right? I don't know how many times I've gone, oh, that looks like a great training. I might go. And Spirit's like, no way you're not doing that. And I'm like, but I want to do that training. I think that would be really great. And they're like, nah, not for you, not for you. And then later down the track, I'll be at a circle, I'll be somewhere, and I'll meet some of the participants that went. And they're like, oh no, there was a lot of energy there that wasn't great. And I'll be like, oh, because I'm so sensitive to energy. And that would have just overwhelmed me. Spirit is really great at guiding me away from areas that can really impact my energy. I must say, they have just an amazing gift of giving me the irks, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a no. I'm not sure why we're not going into that shop. I really like to go into that shop, but it's a no, right? That is part of the success journey, because when you can keep your energy highly elevated, high vibrational, that fast tracks success. So having a spirit team that you can communicate with daily, weekly, monthly, whatever feels right for you, or whenever it's available to you, is such a gift for your success. Such a gift. I hope you enjoyed your cup of tea this week. Thank you for being here again. I will see you next Friday. And in the meantime, protect your energy, keep your vibration really high, and enjoy a hot cup of tea.